أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المكابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم صدق الله العلي العظيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh Sajjad, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh Sajjad, you are the great grandson of Muhammad. Inside your veins flows the purest of blood. You came down from heaven like a rosebud, and if you're sent forever in this world, your name will live on forever now. Till death you'll be in our hearts we bow. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh Sajjad, you were imprisoned, your feet were in chains, and on the chains splattered were your bloodstains. Inside your heart were the scars of those pains, of what you saw that day on the hot plains. Oh, you are patience personified. Oh, you thank Allah though your hands were tied. Oh, my Imam, oh, my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh, my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh, Sajjad, you saw your father's head on that spear, your mother's bareheaded and in fear. Your sister was treated so severe that blood was pouring down from her ear. And yet you were so brave that you spoke, and in that courtyard the world awoke. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh Sajjad, with quaking hands how you dug a small grave, a resting place for Sakina to lay. Her shroud was her shirt covered in bloodstains, till end of time that is how she will stay. Until today she's so far from home, the prison so dark and she's alone. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh Sajjad, for 40 long years you kept on weeping, 'cause in your mind Shem kept on repeating, for the lashes you got and all the beating, for all these feelings there is no healing. Those memories will always be raw of what you heard, felt and what you saw. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. their tents were burned to the ground. Your feet were tied and your hands were bound. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh Sajjad, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh Sajjad. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil Fatiha.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. أما بعد, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran, Surah Yusuf says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, وَتَوَلَّى عَنْهُمْ وَقَالَ يَا أَسَفَ عَلَى يُوسُفَ وَبْيَضَّتْ عَيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْحُزْنِ فَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. Usually, when we meet in the annex, we play a game. That game, for example, if it's today, if we were in the annex together and we're commemorating the Shahada, the death anniversary of Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, then we would play a game and it's 4 things you can remember or know about the 4th Imam. And if it was the death anniversary of the 5th Imam, we would play a game saying, can you remember 5 things about the 5th Imam? If we were here for the wiladat of the 12th Imam, then it would be 12 things about the 12th Imam. So it gets a little bit more difficult as you progress with the Imams. I want to ask you a question. Tell me 4 things that you know about the 4th Imam. Have a think right now. And if you're with your family and whoever you're sitting next to, just look at each other. Can you remember 4 things about the 4th Imam? So it might be something like, who's the 4th Imam's father? Who is the 4th Imam's mother? Where was he born? Where is he buried? Anything like this. I just give you a few seconds. If we were in the annex, I would, be asking you and you guys will be saying a lot now. So just go ahead and say that to your parents. Okay, I can sort of hear some answers here. Okay, who's that? Is that Ali giving me an answer? What's his father's name? That's right, it's Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Mother's name? This is a little bit more tricky. Some of you are hesitating here. It's Bibi Sherbanu, otherwise also known as Bibi Shahizanan. Okay, where was he born? That's right, in Medina. He was actually born in Medina. Where was he killed? Where was he buried? Come on, I can't hear you. A bit louder. That's it. In Medina. Where in Medina? Absolutely correct. Jannatul Baqi. So these are a few facts. And if you're playing this game, then you've already got your 4 facts. Let's make this more interesting now. Let's have 4 facts each. So it's you and all of you, whoever's with you, you all need 4 different facts or information about the 4th Imam. Okay, so you've got your 4 facts already. You see, if someone asks you about any Imam and you don't know any facts, nothing comes to your mind, one of the easiest things to do is just look at the name of the Imam. So here, for example, the name Ali ibn al-Hussein. Ali, the son of Imam Hussein. So you know the father's name. Now, look at the titles. He's also known as Imam Sajjad or Sayyidus Sajidin. What do you think this means? Look at the word Sajjad. Can you think of any other word that you know that sounds like Sajjad? Come on, have a think about it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Who are you sitting next to? Ask them. Sajjad, Sajidin. I'll give you a clue. When you do your salah, what do you do when you're on the floor? That's it, you got it. Sajda. You do a sajda. You go down and you prostrate, you put your head down. That's called a sajda. So when we say Imam Sajjad or Sayyidus Sajidin, we're referring to this Imam. He's got this title because he used to do so many sajda and he used to love praying. So much so that on his forehead and also on his knees, he would have this mark of the sujood. So that's the Imam. So this is the first part of this majlis, just talking about the Imam, some of his facts, some of the important facts about his life. Now I'm going to talk to you about his character. The 4th Imam People loved him. Why? He used to listen to them. He was not arrogant. He used to love praying. He was very knowledgeable and he used to give people answers, to their questions, to their problems. They loved him. One of the characteristics about the fourth Imam was that he used to really love to do things, not to show off, but he was sincere for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'll give you a story here. The Imam lived for 35 years approximately after Karbala. And during that time, he used to go to Hajj. And sometimes he would go to Hajj on foot, walking. He would go riding a camel. And you'll say, wow, how can you walk 250 miles? How's that possible? Does anyone know how long it used to take to do a Hajj in those days? Walking or going by camel? Go on, have a think. How many days? Who thinks it's 2 days? Who thinks it's 5 days? Who thinks it's 10 to 12 days? Go on. It took 10 to 12 days to walk. And what the Imam used to do is he used to join a group. But he wouldn't join a group that he knew the people. He wanted to join a group which is coming from a distant land and they don't know him and they don't know his face and they don't know that this is the Imam. So he would join as a stranger. So he would ask the group, he'd say, can I join this group? They'd say, yes. He'd say, I want to be of service to you. And he would join the group. So there was one group he joined. They didn't know he was the Imam because they were not from Medina. They had not seen him. It's not like we have pictures everywhere and phones and things like that. So they didn't know his face. So they just saw him. He was helping them. He used to get them the food, carry things for them, really in service to them. So much that they thought, this is an amazing helper of ours that we've got. Such a nice person, such good akhlaq. This group was going towards Hajj and they ran into another group. And in that group had come from Medina, so they were the companions of the Imam. They had seen the Imam serving these people. So one of these companions went to the leader or some people in the group and said, do you know who you've got in your group as your helping you and being of service to you? Do you know who this is? And they said, yeah, he's just, we picked him up from this place, whatever. He's a very good helper. This is Imam Sajjad. This is Zainul Abidin. This is the Imam of your time. What are you doing? So the people got really, really embarrassed and they said, we didn't know that. He didn't say who he was. He just came to help us and he was really, really good. They went to the Imam and they said, Imam, we are so sorry. I'm just paraphrasing the saying in our language. I'm so embarrassed. We are so sorry that we've made you do all these chores and we've made you do this and running around from here to that. We're really sorry. We didn't know that you were the Imam. And Imam replied back to them and he said, if you had known who I was, you would not have let me do these things. That's why I joined a group that you didn't know who I was. He's doing this for the love of Allah. He wants to serve. This reminds me, we're in a time now, we've finished the commemoration of Ashura and we're now leading up to the Arba'een. And I don't know if any of you have gone for that walk from Najaf to Karbala. I don't know if any of you have seen all the mokibs and the people in the mokibs who really want to help the Zawar and really, really, they're really selfless. They do things not to show off. They do things because they really, really want to please the Imam and they want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This whole journey of going for Hajj on foot reminds me of this. This is one of the characteristics. Now we look at this characteristic, we listen to this story. What does it do for us? What do you think about when you hear this story? Yes, you want to be like the Imam. You don't want to show off. Sometimes when we go to a place, what do? We say, oh, I am such and such. This is my surname. This is where I live. And we like to boast. We like to show off. I go to this school. I do this. Imam's teaching us an example here. That look, we're all the same here. We all need to serve Allah. There's no point showing off and doing this. So this is a lesson that we can learn, inshallah. Okay, so now let's talk about the time where the Imam was living. What were the conditions? What was the situation at that time? The Imam, when he was in Karbala, he was approximately 22 years old. So he had seen all of the atrocities in Karbala, the whole massacre, everything he had seen there, and he was approximately 22 years old. After that, he spent another 35 years in Medina. So his life was longer after Karbala, 35 years after Karbala. So what was he doing? How did he preach? what did he do? Now the people at the time, they didn't, they were scared that the Imam was so popular, people liked him so much that maybe he will become the leader. Maybe people will ask him to become the leader. And so the Umayyads at the time, they were really against him, and they didn't like him going out and preaching and doing sermons. So he needed to find another way. So what he done is he used to recite du'as. He would recite du'as for lots and lots of things. So for example, he might recite a du'a for parents, a du'a for children, a du'a if you're worried, a du'a if you've got problems, a du'a for Mondays, Tuesdays, the daily du'as. From these collection of du'as, and you can ask your parents or your family members who you're sitting with, what's this collection of du'as commonly called? Sahifa Sajjadiyah. Yes, the books, letters, the collections, the du'as from Imam Sajjad. And it's available today. So if you want to know what are the words of our holy Imam, you can get them online, you can go to the bookshops, and you can get this Sahifa Sajjadiyah. It's an amazing book to have, because any dua you want, literally for your life, whatever part of your life, if you're worried, if you're scared, you just recite one of those duas. So that was one of the ways that he was preaching. Another way is he used to attend the majalis. He used to be he used to encourage people to recite majlis. And he used to be very sad, and he used to cry. So imagine 35 years and he was still crying. Why do you think he was crying? Have a think about this. We've just come out of the day of Ashura. Why do you think he was crying? You're absolutely right. He was crying because he saw so many tragic things on that day. His uncle, Abu al-Fadl, how his arms were cut and slain, the body which was lying there. His father's body, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, showered with arrows. His youngest brother, Hazrat Ali Asghar alayhi salam, neck was separated from his body. All of these things that he had seen. So a group of people came to him and said, isn't it enough time now? You've been crying for a long time. Isn't it time now that you stop this? And he looked at them and he said, yes, I accept that shahada and martyrdom it's part of our family. Yes, we do this. However, for the ladies to have been tied up in the ropes, not being given water, a layer of their hijab taken away, paraded through the streets of Sham, in the bazaars, for na-mahram to look at them, this is not part of shahada. And I'm very sad and I'm crying for this. And he also gave a beautiful example here. And this was the ayah recited in the beginning. This ayah was from Surah Yusuf, and I'll come to the ayah in a second. He gives the example. He says that when Prophet Yaqub lost Prophet Yusuf, then he cried so much so that the Quran says, and in the ayah, that his eyes went white from the grief that he had. So if Prophet Yaqub could cry so much for what happened to Prophet Yusuf, then how come I can't cry? It was as if there were 18 Yusufs, i.e. each member of his family being killed, he's comparing them to being a Prophet Yusuf being slaughtered. So when we look at this, what do we take from this? Right? What's the lesson we learned from this? It's been about 1,000 years since Karbala, but we still have to have that flame in our heart that when it comes to the 10 days, when it comes to this period, we wear black, we mourn, we cry for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We never forget him. So now we come to the last part of the majlis. And here we're remembering the Imam and how he was killed, why he was killed. We said earlier that the Umayyads, especially there was someone called Walid ibn Abdul Malik. So Walid really didn't like the Imam because he had become the ruler and he was now scared that the Imam will probably, if people like him so much, maybe he'll become the ruler. So he got someone to poison the Imam. The poison was given to the Imam. Imam drank this either water or this food. The poison's now going through his body. And the poison was through his body for, say, 3 to 4 days. And the Imam is getting weaker and weaker. And he's there with the 5th Imam. So he's given the wasiyah, he's explaining things to the 5th Imam. And the family members are around him. He must have thought to himself, how lucky I am, my son is with me. My family are around with me. My son is going to be able to bury me, wash me and then bury me. And he was not able to do that for his father, Imam Hussein. We know that those bodies were left on the battlefield for approximately 3 days. So imagine how much pain the Imam would have felt even during when he was passing away. We remember the Imam and we do not forget his father. So right now, in the end, let's say all together, let's give our salams and remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdillah wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bifinaik. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. So in that bit we've just remembered Abu Abdullah and we're saying, let this not be the last time I'm doing my ziyarah. Let this not be the last time I'm remembering you. And now we send our salams to Imam Hussein and all the companions. Assalamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala awlad al-Husayn wa ala ashab al-Husayn. Let's recite a Surah Fatiha for all those people who have passed away. Al-Fatiha.
Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farqah. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. Every day it cuts me inside. I'm so very far from your side. I would give away these eyes just to catch a glimpse of your shrine. If I have to cross the seas and every desert in between, I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I can tell you that I'm insane in the love of my master Hussein. In this universe there's no pain that can ever keep me away. Every inch that I come your way, every beat of my heart will say, I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. If I lose my family and friends, and my life's coming to an end, if I lose my feet and hands, if I can no longer stand, if I stumble 1,000 times, and the journey's 1,000 miles, I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, You just have to look at this world. See your lovers are tortured and hurt. They can use their tanks and their guns. We will stand together as one. They can tear us limb from limb, but our soul will say from within, I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can put a gun to my head and can threaten to shoot me dead. They can wound me till I'm red. They can try to kill me, and yet, with my every remaining breath, with every ounce of strength I possess, I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. This is now my state, oh Hussein. I am so overwhelmed with pain. Who can I now turn to and explain all the grief that my heart now contains? Who can I now call for help, pinning all my hopes on yourself? I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. On the plains of Karbala, when you said with the heart so scarred, Hal min nasir yansurna, who can help me in time so hard? Falling from the court to the floor, Ali Asghar gave this call. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They say when you breathe your last, you incur your entire past. When my life flashes past so fast, I pray that in my final gasp, death will be the sweetest taste. When I see your radiant face, I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. The Tijani brothers know you have been our guide as we've grown. You have led us down that road where your blessings are bestowed. How can we not then proclaim every moment, every day? I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.